What's up? This is the introduction, the welcome video, and I'm Hugh, obviously. I can't wait for us to get on calls and do one-on-one sessions, but I wanted to create a series of videos that will help prepare for the calls. Because what I found over years of doing this is that a lot of the call ends up being consumed. And usually these calls, they can be like 60 minutes to 90 minutes long, depending on what's coming up and what we're trying to integrate and trying to better understand. More importantly, how to embody, how to live, how to see the actual transformation and the change that's taking place. It's going to be raw. It's going to be messy. There's going to be times when I'm making these videos because I'm busy with the horses and I'm busy with the kids and the family life and the community and all that stuff. So I've been trying to wait for a very long time now. It's been over a year to like get in front of the computer, have this stupid little ring light and, and all this and get it all right. And then it just finds that I'm just dragging my feet. So how I'm approaching this now is some of these videos that you'll be watching, they are going to be, I'm going to be wherever I'm at. I might be in my truck. I might be out at the lake. I might be riding horses. It's just, I've got to find time and just put this in to my schedule and make this happen. I'm always going to try to get you the best lighting and more importantly, the best audio. I want these videos to be a support and a help to you. So in these videos, we're not going to be, I'm not going to dive into like how to live it. It's just going to be knowledge and information. But knowledge and information only goes so far. It's like, how do we actually apply it and live what we know? Because all of us know a lot of things that we don't live. And then when we don't live up to that, we generally have a tendency to like shame ourselves, blame ourselves, judge ourselves, or we see other people in our life and in our relationships and they're not living up to what they know. And then we, blame, shame, judge them. This is going to be a lot of information about how the brain works, neurobiology, psychology, spirituality, the science of emotions, different like approaches to compassion. You know me, and you know that I love words, so I'm going to be also breaking down the etymology of words. I am what I would refer to as a philomorphist. And what that means is the love of transformational change. And the way that transformational change occurs is by studying multiple disciplines. And then from those disciplines, tying in a philosophy of higher consciousness. So all the information that is going to be in these videos is just mere information, is just more knowledge. You've got a gajillion podcasts that you could go listen to and a million different YouTube videos. And some of these people might articulate some principles really, really well. If you find any really good principles that get articulated well, I would love for you to send it to me because then I can improve my articulation and improve the videos for you guys. So that's totally welcome. And I would love that. The main purpose of, and I get this from Eckhart Tolle, who says, and he wrote this in one of his books, that he's like, if I'm just giving you more information and I'm not trying to change your mind, I'm not trying to give you a new belief system. What I'm trying to do is shift the consciousness just a little bit. Consciousness is awareness. There's so many parts of ourselves that we don't know, and there's so many parts of ourselves that we do know, but we think it might be something else, or we think it might be more valuable. If you've been in a relationship, whether it's at work or at home, and it's like you're doing all the right things, but you're not getting the result. So sometimes we have to come to an awareness that the thing I thought it wasn't actually what I thought it was. So this is really about transformation. Again, Eckhart is one of the experts that I'll be leaning on quite heavily. Same with Bruce Lipton, Peter Levine, Gabor Maté, Bessel van der Kolk, James Hollis, Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, A.H. Almas, like these really, really, really brilliant minds. And so we're going to tie all of that together. And maybe at the end, you'll also be a philomorphicist. And so I don't want this to just be knowledge, even though that's what these videos are going to be. Again, I don't know if I said this before, but I've been doing this for years. And what I found was that I was getting frustrated at the end of some of the calls because we spent more time trying to contextualize and trying to give you the fundamental knowledge and information of like how the brain works and how emotions work and perceptions and the prefrontal cortex and the way that we tell the story and how those things can be edited and what core beliefs they're touching on. I don't want to use our time together and our phone calls going over that stuff. Hence, I'm making these series of videos. Let's see what else. This isn't a how-to-do program. This is more, even though I will be explaining how, like, and showing and being vulnerable about like how I do it for myself and for our family. It's definitely not a how-to. And the reason it's not a how-to is because how to do something requires a lot of wisdom. And the Greeks had a fantastic word. It's actually it's like one of my most favorite words in Greek. And the Greek word is phronesis. And phronesis is often translated as practical wisdom, which is a type of wisdom. And that wisdom means how to do the right thing to the right person at the right time in the right place and in the right way. And so there's like all these little filters that come through. Only you know those deep contexts and those little nuances. But like Socrates said, I can't teach someone what to think or what to do, but I can teach them how to think. These videos are about how to think. And I'll, again, be using the experts, the leading science, the cutting edge science. If anything new comes out, I have brilliant minds supporting me and behind this, behind these videos that you might not ever meet or ever see on the videos. But we're feeding information in all the time so that we can always be, at the cutting edge and leading this. So, and it's for transformation. It's for a shift in consciousness. Nothing actually changes until our state of consciousness can make a change. Our external reality, as you already know, is just a reflection of our inner state of consciousness. That might sound hippy dippy, at least it did to me, a few years ago. I'm going to prove to that. We're going to go into some basics of quantum physics, the biology of belief, just really, really incredible stuff. Along with the videos, I'm also going to be providing you with a bunch of PDFs, a bunch of articles, a bunch of resources so that you can go read more, dive deeper into it. Point being is it sets you up better for when we're on our call of how to actually shift and make the change and, reach the intention of why you're here. I don't have the intention. I don't have the agenda. So as things are showing up for you in these videos, that gives you your content, that gives you your curriculum, that gives you the opportunity to drive the discussion. And then, I just use my brilliant mind to be able to piece everything together and, again, give you really vulnerable stories. I've screwed up so many relationships and I've repaired so many of them. The one that was the most important to me was the relationship I've had with myself. And everything comes together when you repair the relationship with self. I'm excited about that. And let me see what else. Yeah, if there's anything that doesn't make sense, I want that feedback. You can leave it in the comments. You can text me, you can call me, you can Marco Polo me. reach out and let me know, like, hey, this video didn't make sense. And then I can go back and add an additional video, redo the video and put better context in. Let's see. The disciplines that we're going to go over: psychology, biology, endocrinology, like the neurochemicals in the body. Our bodies are just these little chemical soups, right? And they drive our emotions, and our emotions drive our behavior. But as Andrew Huberman says, identity leads and behavior follows. And identity is being ran by the default operating system that is in our brain. And scientists and neurobiologists call that the default mode network. So, we're going to use all these little fancy words and everything, but again, we'll break them down. The vocabulary is really important. Socrates said the beginning of wisdom is the definition of the terms we use. So when I'm using these terms, I want to have this video as an opportunity to also break down these words so that you can start thinking about things, in a new light, with a new shift in consciousness. I give you an example of that. The word forgiveness. When we look in the Germanic, Anglo-Saxon, and the Latin root, like the ancient Latin or classic Latin, they share the same root word. And the root, like in Latin, for example, is perdone. And done means to give. And per means for, but like a little nuance to it, like completely or thoroughly. And what forgiveness means is I'm thoroughly giving up the right to punish you for the pain that I have, in our relationship. So I'm going to break down all of the words, and super excited that you're here and that we finally get to join this journey. Thank you for letting me make these videos wherever I'm at, and just trying to crank this out to you as efficiently as well as thoroughly and transformationally as I'll know how to. And we'll go on this journey, and I'm sure that as the years go by, we'll continue to improve and add more videos and do all that. But again, glad you're here, and enjoy the next section.